Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have proof that Triple H is a hypocrite. So, this story began a few years ago when Triple H did an interview and Triple H called NXT his developmental territory. He called it a developmental territory. But in 2012, Triple H called it a brand. And Chris Jericho basically called Triple H out on that. And this is a screenshot from Wrestling Inc. But this is an interview. Chris Jericho gave this interview to Inside the Ropes. And I'll just read it for you guys. It's just changing the narrative and changing the history, which makes me laugh, Jericho said while speaking with Inside the Ropes, because when it started, it was not developmental. It was a third brand, and it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And all that other bull that they said. NXT sucks, Jericho added bluntly. It's not a good show. They know it. They probably were punished. That's why probably they said those things. And it goes on. So basically, I have proof to back what Chris Jericho set up. The first clip that I'm going to show you guys is from the NXT Greatest Matches DVD or Blu-ray. And here it is.
About a year and a half ago, we looked at doing something with Full Sail. We did a test event here, and now here we are. FCW will become NXT. It will take the place of NXT that we shoot now on Tuesdays on SmackDown days.
And this is a little bit of a later clip from that meeting. It's on the DVD as well.
We see this as a brand, not as just a stopgap for the guys from developmental. We want to see this as a brand.
And in 2019, AEW started. They launched Dynamite, which began the NXT versus AEW Wednesday Night War. And AEW basically beated NXT in the ratings, and Vince McMahon stepped in and took over creative of NXT, and basically this is how Triple H responded to that.
So just curious, there was that story, and that's why I appreciate you being here and maybe putting to rest some theories out there. NXT went head-to-head with AEW. It couldn't beat them. We're going to punish it. Was that a real thing?
No.
Nonsense.
No, look, we do, people put so much pressure on this competitive wars. It never was that. Look, first of all, they beat our developmental system. Good for them.
And there you have it. Proof that Triple H is a hypocrite. Now, this is kind of something that reminds me of like what Vince McMahon used to do, which WWE never wants to admit that they have flaws. When they lose, they try to twist the narrative and act like they didn't win. It's kind of like a very dictator mindset, that approach that WWE takes, and I think this could be their biggest downfall. So Triple H, right now WWE has the momentum when it comes to WWE versus AEW. But Triple H is in his 50s. And Vince McMahon was in his 50s during the Attitude Era. And I would say the modern, right now, wrestling is on fire. Kind of similar to the Attitude Era. And when Vince McMahon was in his 50s, he basically was willing to do anything it took to make WWE famous. Until they had the Chris Benoit incident. After the Chris Benoit incident, Vince McMahon changed and became very defensive and started making bad booking decisions. So I'm kind of like, and right now I see a lot of similarities between Triple H and Vince McMahon. And Triple H is in his 50s, but 20 years from now, when he's in his 70s, I'm worried that there's going to be like another incident. There's not going to be a Chris Benoit incident, because that was kind of like a one-time thing, but there could be another incident that happens that causes the media to go after WWE, and would that put Triple H in defense mode? There's another thing that Triple H said. He called AEW the secondary promotion. Well, in 2010, TNA was the secondary promotion, and TNA did a lot of copying of WWE. They copied WWE with the CM Punk feud and the AJ Styles feud, and now fast forward to 2022, and WWE is doing things that is copying AEW. AEW had pay-per-views on Saturdays. Now WWE has pay-per-views on Saturdays. And the Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega storyline, where Hangman won the title from Kenny, is kind of similar to like what WWE just did recently with the Bloodline. And I know that WWE likes to bend and twist the narrative and say it's because of COVID-19 that forced WWE to make storyline changes. I don't quite fully believe that. I believe that if there was no AEW, we never would have had the Bloodline. I think if there was no AEW, we still would be getting part-time Brock Lesnar winning the Universal title 17 times. We would still have babyface Roman Reigns if there was no AEW. And we would still have WWE making controversial decisions. I think Vince McMahon would still be in charge of the company, even if those allegations came out, because there's been allegations going on for years with Vince McMahon. And it took, WWE didn't want to like do anything about it until like recently, so I think WWE has become more of the secondary promotion. And it took WWE a long time to get to the point where they are now. But AEW has only been like a few years old, and they're already like surpassed what WWE has done in the 80s compared to like AEW is having like a faster growth rate than WWE ever did. And AEW is doing good now. I think, well, I mean, AEW is not doing good right now, but like they're doing pretty good growth-wise, if that makes sense. And I believe that someday, even though WWE has the momentum right now, someday the momentum will shift back to AEW. I think Tony Khan will maybe hopefully listen to like the stuff that CM Punk said on the MMA Hour, and maybe Tony Khan will make some changes to his product. At the end of the day, I think AEW is a superior brand, because when I watch a WWE event, I still get bored. But when I watch an AEW event, even if the storylines are bad, the match quality in AEW is like way better. And to me, as a pro wrestling fan, that's kind of what matters. So, yeah. So, Let me go what you guys think. Do you guys think Triple H is a hypocrite? Remember to subscribe for more videos. Leave a like, comment, and do all that fun stuff.